Hello student, welcome to all of you. In last lecture we will start our fourth chapter, that is data link layer. In last video lecture we will discuss about some of the functions which are performed by data link layer. Also some of service provided by data link layer to the network layer. Now from this chapter we will study basic functions performed by data link layer in deep. So first function is framing. Now in this lecture we will discuss about framing concepts and some of the methods related with framing. So first, introduction about framing. In the physical layer, data transmission involves synchronized transmission of bits from source to destination. The data link layer packs these bits into frame. Group of physical layer bit stream into units called frame. Breaking the bit stream into frame called framing. Data link layer takes the packet from network layer and encapsulates that packet into frame. If frame size becomes too large, then packet may be divided into small sized frame. Smaller sized frame makes flow control and error control more efficient. Frames are the units of digital transmission, particularly in computer networks and telecommunications. Breaking the bit stream into frame is more difficult than it at first appears. One way to achieve this framing is to insert time gaps between frame, much like space between words in ordinary text. However, networks rarely makes any guarantees about timing. So it is possible this gap might squeezed out or other gap might be inserted during transmission. So for that other methods will be used. This diagram represents relationship between packet of network layer with frame of data link layer. Protocol data unit at network layer is known as packet, whereas protocol data unit at data link layer known as frame. In this concept, data link layer takes the packet from network layer and encapsulate that packet with header and trailer information and then pass that whole frame to the physical layer. If size of packet is too large, then that packet is again divided into smaller size, and this whole concept is known as framing. So this diagram represents relationship between packet and frame. Then next is part of frames. This diagram represents part or format for the frames. Basically, frame has three main parts. First part is header, second part data that will be accepted from network layer, and last part it is a trailer. Data link layer, it is the only layer which adds trailer also with data unit. All other layer adds only header. Then these three parts has some subparts also. In this, frame header contains source and destination addresses of that frame with types of services provided by that frame to its third layer protocol, and last one quality control field which identify special flow control services like quality of services. Then data as it is that will be accepted from network layer. Then trailer, in which there are again two parts, out of which first part is used for error detection and also include after the data of that frame. Then there are also two other field. First one is frame start, which is a part of header, and last one is a frame stop, which is a part of that trailer, which indicate start and end of that frame. So this is a structure for the frame of data link layer. There are some of the problems which are occurred during framing. First problem is detecting start of that frame. When the frame is transmitted, every station must be able to detect it. Station detect frame by looking out for special sequence of bit that marks the beginning of that frame, and that special sequence is known as a starting frame delimiter. Second problem is related with how do station detect a frame. Every station listen to link of starting frame delimiter pattern through the sequential circuit. If starting frame delimiter pattern is detected, sequential circuit alerts station. Station checks destination address to accept or reject that frame. And last problem related with framing is detecting end of that frame, that is when to stop that reading the frame. So these are the three problems related with framing mechanism. Then types of framing. Framing can be of two types. First one is fixed size framing and second one is variable size framing. In fixed size framing, frames can be of fixed size. In it, there is no need for defining the boundaries of that frame. The size itself can be used as a delimiter. Whereas in variable size framing, the size of each frame to be transmitted may be different. So, additional mechanisms are kept to mark end of one frame and beginning of next frame. Historically, two approaches were used for this purpose. First, character-oriented approach and second is bit-oriented approach, which is used in local area network. There are two ways to define frame delimiter in variable sized framing. First way is length field with frame, where the length field is used to determine the size of frame, which is used in Ethernet, that is IEEE 802.3. And second way is use of end delimiter, where a pattern is used as a delimiter to determine size of frame. It is used in token ring. If pattern occurs in message, then two approaches are used to avoid that situation. First, byte stuffing and second one is bit stuffing, that we will discuss next in this same video. Then there are two methods related with framing, and the methods are first one character count, second one flag byte with byte stuffing, third one starting and ending flag with bit stuffing, and fourth one is physical layer coding violation. We all discuss it one by one. First, character count method. This method uses a field in header to specify number of characters in the frame. When the data link layer at destination sees the character count, it knows how many characters follow and hence where the end of that frame is. This diagram represents character count method, in which first character are used as a character count for that frame. In this example, character count for first frame is 5, so the number of character in frame first is 5 character. Remember that this character count is also the part of that frame. So beginning from character count, first 5 characters are part of first frame, like from 5 to 4. Then after end of first frame, immediately next character act as a frame count or character count for next frame. In this example, character count for second frame is also 5. So total number of character in second frame is also 5, like from this 5 to this 9. Then after that 8 will be the character count for third frame, and this 8 will be the character count for fourth frame. So in this way, using this method, we can find the frame. It is very simple method, but it has one disadvantage. The disadvantage is that if the count is changed by transmission error, then destination will lose synchronization and will be unable to locate start of next frame. So due to this method is very rarely used. This diagram represents disadvantage related with character count, in which same example are used for reference purpose. In this example, first frame is correctly transferred from sender to receiver. Receiver receives that frame and select, that is first character for character count, which is 5. So in that case, receiver's frame size for first frame is same as sender's frame size. But when receiver receives second frame, then this character count for second frame is changed. Sender sends this character count as 5, but due to transmission error, this will be changed with 7. Then in this case, for receiver, the second frame having 7 character, which is wrong, because in reality sender sends only 5 character for second frame, but receiver receives 7 character for second frame, because character count of second frame is changed. Hence this frame is wrongly received by receiver, and in same way all other frame count are also changed, because if this character count is changed, then second frame is wrong, and if the second frame is wrong, then the end of second frame is also wrong. If end is wrong, then start of third frame is wrongly detected by that receiver, and in this way all other frames are wrongly detected. So this is disadvantage related with character count method. Then second method of framing is flag byte with byte stuffing. It is a character oriented approach for framing which solves the problem of resynchronization. Here every frame start and end with special bit pattern, and that special bit pattern is known as flag byte, which is given as 0, 6 times 1 and 0. In this, the header, which normally carries source and destination address and other control information, also carries flag, which is used to indicate the start of that frame. Then trailer carries information related with error detection or error correction, also contains flag byte which indicates end of that frame. All those data are multiple of 8 bit. To separate one frame from next, the 8-bit flag are added at the beginning and end of that frame. It is known as flag byte. The flag, which is composed of protocol dependent special character, signals the start and end of that frame. In our example, we use flag byte as 0, 6 times 1 and then 0. Then if the receiver loses synchronization, it can just search for flag byte to find end of current frame. 2 consecutive flag byte indicate the end of one frame and start of next frame. Character oriented framing was popular when only text was exchanged by the data link layer. The flag could be selected to be any character which is not used for text communication. Now, however, we send other types of information also, such as graph, audio and video. Any pattern used for flag could also be part of that information. If this happens, the receiver, when it encounters this pattern in middle of data, think it has reached the end of frame. To fix this problem, the byte stuffing strategy was added to character oriented framing. So in this, sender's data link layer inserts special escape byte, that is ESC, which is just before each accidental flag byte in the data. The data link layer on receiving end removes escape byte before data which are given to the network layer. This technique is called byte stuffing or character stuffing. Thus, framing flag byte can be distinguished from one in the data by absence or presence of escape byte before it. Of course, the next question is what happens if an escape byte occurs in middle of data. Then the answer is 2. It's stuffed with an escape byte. Thus, any single escape byte is part of escape sequence, whereas double one indicate that single escape occurred naturally in that data. These are the advantage and disadvantage related with this. First advantage, that it is very simple framing method, because character oriented framing was popular when only text was exchanged by data link layer. The flag could be selected to be any character not used for text communication. Then the disadvantage related with this method is that even if with checksum the receiver knows that frame is bad, there is no way to tell where next frame start. Asking for retransmission doesn't help either, because start of retransmitted frame is not known and hence this method is no longer used. These are some of the examples related with flag byte with byte stuffing. In this example, we do not indicate start and stop delimiter, we only refer data for byte stuffing. In this example, first example contains 3 character, that is first character A, second character flag, means this character is same as either start and end of that frame, and again simple B character. So if receiver receives that data, it may possible that this flag may act as a end flag for that receiver. So to remove this condition, escape sequence or escape bytes are used in byte stuffing. In this case, before that flag character, that is accidental flag character in data, before that escape sequence or escape byte will be added. When receiver receives that, it removes that single escape which is due to byte stuffing and acts that flag as a data or as a part of that data. Then in second example, escape sequence is also part of that data. In that condition, escape character is also added before original escape character. So this escape character is due to byte stuffing. Same example in which third has escape character with flag also. In that case, each character means before escape byte stuffing escape is included, also before flag byte stuffing escape is included. Also same for the last example. So these are some of the examples related with flag byte with byte stuffing. Then third method is starting and ending flag with bit stuffing. The concept is same, means here every frame start and end with special bit pattern. That bit pattern is known as a flag byte, which has same pattern as 0, 6 times 1 and 0. Whenever sender's data link layer encounters 5 consecutive ones in data, it automatically stuffs the 0 bit into outgoing bit stream. This bit stuffing is analogous to byte stuffing, in which escape byte is stuffed into outgoing character stream before flag byte in data. When receiver sees 5 consecutive incoming 1 followed by a 0 bit, it automatically destuffs the 0 bit. Just as byte stuffing is completely transparent to network layer in both computer, so is bit stuffing also. That is, if the user's data contain flag pattern, that is 0, 6 times 1 and 0, then this flag is transmitted as 0 5 times 1, then stuff bit 0, 1 and 0. So this will be the concept behind bit stuffing, and these are the examples related with bit stuffing, in which first string indicate original data, second string indicate original data with bit stuffing, also with flag byte, means starting and ending flag, and third string indicate data stored in receiver's memory after destuffing. In this example, when sender detects 5 consecutive 1, like in this example these are 6 consecutive ones and these are 5 consecutive 1, then senders add extra 0 bit as a stuffing bit after 5 consecutive 1 and all other characters is as it is. This extra bit are indicated by blue color. So this bit act as a bit stuffing for that example. So here after 5 consecutive 1, 0 bit is added for bit stuffing, and after that original data as it is like 100 and so on. Also in this after 5 consecutive 1, extra 0 bit is added for bit stuffing. When receiver receives that, it then it removes that start and end delimiter, and when it reading that data, and during reading if it detects 5 consecutive 1 and after that single 0, or if it detects 0 after 5 consecutive 1, it automatically removes that 0 from that data and continue reading from its next character. Hence for receiver the data is 5 consecutive 1 and directly 1, that can be seen in this example, that is data stored in receiver's memory after destuffing. So this is a bit stuffing with starting and ending flag. Last method is physical layer coding violation, in which framing is only applicable to network in which encoding of physical medium contains some redundancy. For example, some LAN encode 1 bit of data by using 2 physical bits or by using 2 different signal level. Like in this example, to indicate single bit 0, it uses 2 different signal level, one half negative and second half is positive. So in that case 1 bit is high low pair and 0 bit is indicated by low high pair, means first half is low and second half is high for 0 bit, and first half is high and second half is low for bit 1. The scheme means that every data bit has a transition in the middle, making it easy for receiver to locate bit boundaries. The combination of high and low are not used for data but are used for delimiting frame in some protocol. So as the final note on framing, many data link protocol use combination of character count with one of other method for extra safety. When the frame arrives, the count field is used to locate end of frame only if the appropriate delimiter is present at position and the checksum is correct is the frame accepted as valid. Otherwise, the input stream is scanned for next delimiter. Thank you.